After we finish IBM Dock in Poughkeepsie, New York, the company we work for on several jobs runs out of the dive projects. It was time to make a move. Thankfully, very soon, Scott find a different construction firm seeking a team of divers. The new client company specializes mostly in land-based projects, only on occasions requires divers. For that reason, we were to provide not only our services, but a full spread of the dive gear as well. Everything, from the compressor to dive helmet. In addition, we were also supplying some underwater tools like Rocco burning rig, pressure washer, and Venturi dredge. After a short negotiations, we got hired. The job was located in the city of Glen, Cove, on the New York's Long Island. More precisely, at Glen Cove Creek, less than mile-long navigable channel that dumps its water into a Hampstead harbor. The $1.3 billion project of revitalization of the Glen Cove Creek area include building a large number of luxury condominiums from $700,000 to $3 million each, additional office and retail space, restaurant, and open public recreational area. One of the biggest selling point for residents is an idea of bringing back the ferry commute between Glen Cove and Manhattan. Original concept was negotiated in 1827 between Cornelius Vanderbilt, a New York rail and steamship mogul, and the local entrepreneur, Scottish Dr. Thomas Gravy. Many years later, Doctor's nearby former property was turned to museum and nature preserve and properly named Gravy's Point. One part of a new plan include creating an artificial bay in the creek, which will host a marina for guests and residents' yachts. A new shoreline was constructed, leaving old sheet wall to be removed, and that was where our role come to play. Our work platform was the crane barge. The crew consists of Mike, the crane operator, Jeff, an oiler, dog builders, Marcus, Mark, and Jimmy. And divers, Scott, David, Mike, and Tomek. Every day we start with a short briefing and a safety meeting run at the nearby marina by the project manager Dan. A quick boat ride down the channel brings us to the crane barge. While the diver was getting dressed, the rest of the dive crew set up the equipment and the tools needed for the day of work. Meanwhile, the dock builders carry on their part of the project, unloading removed sheets, loading fuel, oxygen, and other supplies, or burning off wall above the water surface. In a typical circumstances, the sheet wall would be cut the mud level or slightly below. In this case, due to the fact the channel is supposed to be dredged deeper in the near future, job requirements mandates complete removal of the sheets. Previously, numerous surface attempts of vibrating or pulling the sheets out failed due to the extensive damage of the wall, especially at the tidal zone. In a couple spots, few sheets has been removed, creating 3 separate sections. The east and west areas were pretty straightforward, while the center, partially collapsed section posed some additional problems. We agree that the best solution will be to cut the sheets below deterioration, then remove the upper part of the wall, and then placed extended vibratory hammer on the healthy, not twisted part of the wall. Before attempting to cut due to heavy incrustation, sheets need to be cleaned with a pressure washer. In addition, in some areas, we had to remove wooden piles driven in the pockets of the sheets. The underwater visibility varies greatly throughout the duration of the project. On rare occasions, after a peaceful weekend on the high tide, oceanic water filled up the creek, creating short-lived clear conditions. These were the moments we took most of our underwater footage for this film. For most of the time, you could only see about 6 inches in front of the helmet's faceplate. Of course, any activity on the bottom create a complete, but fortunately temporary, blackout. This kind of conditions only slightly hinders the burning part of the project, as divers working in the New York area had to be accustomed to cutting with zero visibility. Part where no seeing may have potentially caused much serious consequences was directing vibratory hammer onto submerged sheets. Suspended from the crane on the barge, weighted several tons, extended hammer has to be lowered below the surface, having divers' bubbles as the only indicator. Upon seeing the bottom of the hammer, diver took over directing the crane.
5 feet, and it's about 3 feet to your east. Full stop. Swing to the west, roger. Mike, swing easy to the west.
The goal was to place the narrow gap between the hammer's hydraulic jaws directly above interlocking part of the two sheets. To achieve this, diver had to perfectly time all the hammer movements. There was no direct communication. Diver sent the directions to the dive supervisor, and he relays them to the crane operator. That, of course, created some unwanted delay in the reaction. Have I mentioned the days with no visibility? The old dive proverb states, "Never ever put your fingers where you would not put your private parts in." Nevertheless, at this part of the project, my fingers had to be my eyes. I have put a lot of trust in Mike's crane operating abilities. I am happy to report that I can still order 5 beers with one hand. While we were dealing with those difficulties, another much bigger problem arrived upon us: the global pandemic of COVID-19. Initially, our project was designated essential, but as the numbers of sick and dead started to climb in New York City, the project was paused for 6 weeks. After the break, we come back to finish remaining part of the job. Post-corona reality look a little different with masks, gloves, and social distancing. By May 19th, 2020, entire length of the wall has been removed. Again, it was a time to look for another project.